A 24-year-old boy seeing out from the airplane's window shouted, "Dad, look, the houses are going behind." Dad smiled, and a young couple sitting nearby looked at the 24-year-old's childish behavior with pity. Then the son shouted again, "Dad, look how small the cars are down there." The father smiled and nodded his head. The couple became more and more annoyed by the childish behavior, and anger began to grow inside them. Suddenly he again exclaimed, "Dad, look, the clouds are running with us." The couple couldn't resist and said to the old man, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor?" The old man smiled and said, "I did, and we are just coming from the hospital. My son was blind from birth, he just got his eyes today." Things aren't always what they appear to be. Everyone has their own story. Avoid judging others, as the reality of their situation may astonish you. A man married a beautiful girl. He loved her very much. One day she developed a skin disease. Slowly she started to lose her beauty. It so happened that one day her husband left for a tour. While returning, he had an accident and lost his eyesight. However, their married life continued as usual. But as days passed, she lost her beauty gradually. The blind husband did not know this, and there was no difference in their married life. He continued to love her, and she also loved him very much. One day she died. Her death brought him a great sorrow. A man from behind called and said, "Now how will you be able to walk all alone? All these days your wife used to help you." He replied, "I am not blind. I was acting because if she knew Elle could see her skin condition, it would have pained her more than her actual disease. I didn't love her for her beauty alone, but for her caring and loving nature. So I pretended to be blind. I only wanted to keep her happy." There is a 9-year-old kid sitting at his desk, and all of a sudden, he notices that his pants are wet. He is shocked. That has never happened before. And he knows that when the boys find out, they will laugh at him. If the girls find out, they'll never speak to him again as long as he lives. The boy believes his heart is going to stop. He puts his head down and prays, "Dear God, this is an emergency." He looks up from his prayer, and here comes the teacher, looking like she discovered him. As the teacher is walking towards him, a classmate named Susie is carrying a goldfish bowl that is filled with water. Susie trips in front of the teacher and inexplicably dumps the bowl of water on the boy's lap. The boy pretends to be angry but whispers to himself, "Thank you, Lord." Now all of a sudden, instead of being the object of ridicule, the boy is the object of sympathy. The teacher rushes him downstairs and gives him gym shorts to put on while his pants dry out. At the end of the day, as they are waiting for the bus, the boy walks over to Susie and whispers, "You did that on purpose, didn't you?" Susie whispers back, "I wet my pants once too." A kindergarten teacher asked the children to write the name of the person they hate on a potato and put it in a plastic bag. Some had 2 or 3 potatoes, while some up to 5 potatoes. The teacher then told the children to carry the plastic bag with them wherever they go for 1 week. Days passed, and the children started to complain due to the unpleasant smell let out by the rotten potatoes. Besides, those having 5 potatoes also had to carry heavier bags. After 1 week, the teacher asked, "How did you feel while carrying the potatoes with you for 1 week?" The children let out their frustrations and started complaining of the trouble that they had to go through having to carry the heavy and smelly potatoes wherever they go. The teacher said, "This is exactly the situation when you carry your hatred for somebody inside your heart. The stench of hatred will contaminate your heart, and you will carry it with you wherever you go. If you cannot tolerate the smell of rotten potatoes for just 1 week, can you imagine what is it like to have the stench of hatred in your heart for your lifetime? Forgiving others is the best attitude to take.